Prove your freedom.
Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15, your AK-47. We're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore. Hell yes, hell yes, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15. Hell yes, your AK-47. Hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15.
Oh, hell no.
Hell yes, we're not going to allow it to be used against our fellow Americans anymore.
Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. Yeah, we couldn't get away from this, the Second Amendment. Folks, we just had our 4th of July Independence Day celebration weekend. And it wouldn't be complete, not during the Biden administration, without there being some murdering going on. And so, yeah, there was a couple policemen, I believe, shot in Philadelphia. Oh, the city of brotherly love. Never an act of violence there on any given day. Got lots of media attention. And then, of course, all the way over in Highland Park, Illinois, I believe that's a suburb of Chicago, there was the sniper. It looks to be another left-wing lunatic, but he's white. And so all the media, he's white, he's white, he's white, as if that's the defining characteristic of someone that, is a murderer. Unbelievable. But he's a sniper. He's not a sniper. He was just taking pop shots into the crowd. There's a big difference, folks, between a sniper and someone just taking pop shots in a holiday crowd. Now, this guy killed a few people and was arrested. Apparently, he has posted pictures of himself, killing, got a thing with death. The police apparently knew about him. But folks, until you commit a crime, you haven't committed a crime. That's what due process is all about. Right? I don't want someone to say, wow, John talks about movies like Dirty Harry, and lots of people get shot in Dirty Harry movies, so therefore John is a violent person. And so we need to red flag John and everyone else who has ever watched a Dirty Harry movie. No, I don't think so. Now, what's really important here about the Highland Park shooter is that he killed a few people, several people, very tragic. So Pritzker, governor of the state of Illinois, says they need to outlaw guns. Folks, over the weekend, 60 people were shot and 15 dead in Chicago. Right? Compared to an average Chicago weekend, the Highland Park killer ain't shit. Chicago, every day of the week, every weekend, 365 days out of the year is a dangerous shooting gallery. And Chicago is a gun-free zone. Right? Chicago, you can't own a gun. Gun-free zones don't work. Oh yeah, Highland Park is a gun-free zone. And it didn't stop this lunatic. In fact, over the weekend in Europe, a lunatic went crazy with a gun in another gun-free country or extremely gun-restricted country, and he killed some people. You see, gun-free zones don't stop lunatics from using guns or using other weapons to kill people. The problem is they're lunatics. And if you look at the Highland Park killer, you can tell he's a lunatic. He's not the type of guy that you would invite for dinner. Right? He's not the type of guy that I would want to hire on a construction site to operate a shovel. Right? There's something very wrong with his eyes and his face. You've been arrested, so now you're going to have this look on your face, completely placid, as if he was fully medicated. That's right, folks. Fully medicated and controlled. Just like that. Funny how these psychos, right, appear to be medicated. Now, we all have our pet theories about what's going on. And I think that much like the Declaration of Independence stated and claimed the King of England was doing, our government is causing violence to be perpetrated intentionally with the purpose of harming us and depriving us of our rights and causing us to submit to further and further government intrusion in our lives. I strongly believe that, folks. Look at the violence that's being caused and encouraged by Biden. He is doing such a piss poor job, folks, of, well, obeying his oath, but rather he's doing a terrific job of screwing the country up, so much so that billionaires are getting pissed off at him. First it was Musk, right? And he's saying things like, well, we need energy. We need food, you know. And then Bezos, Jeff Bezos is Amazon. He's getting very pissed off, right? And now, yeah, we also have this guy, folks, a gas station owner. Well, this guy's a billionaire, and he owns apparently hundreds of gas stations. And he's a billionaire and a refiner. His name is John Katsimitadis. He owns hundreds of gas stations, and he went after Biden, saying our margin is no bigger than it's ever been, and it's very small, right? He says it's ridiculous to put it on us. We're not the ones that created the problem, right? That's incredible. We're not the ones that created the problem. He couldn't have been more accurate in that statement, right? We, the people, are not the ones creating these problems with the fuel issue. We're not the ones creating the problem with the money issue. That would be the Federal Reserve and the Treasury. We're not the ones creating problem with these psycho killers. Folks, the left is encouraging this type of thinking. They're encouraging these young lunatics to head out into public and take out their problems on everyone else. They're encouraging it because they're not being punished. They're all screaming for attention. Absolutely everyone wants to be famous. They're screaming for attention. They want to make a difference, so they go to these Antifa rallies. They go to these BLM rallies, and they think they're making a difference. It's unbelievable. Right. Now, here's a quote from Ross McKittrick, professor of economics at the University of Guelph in Ontario. He says it's not the war in Ukraine. It's really domestically caused constraint on the supply side. Talking about our energy issues, our fuel issues. He says nobody's willing to invest in expanding refinery capacity because the outlook from everything that the government has said is that you won't get the approvals, right? And we've seen that. Denials of permits, revocations of permits, canceling of pipelines. So why even try and invest the money if you're not going to be granted it? In order to, folks, expand, you have to have engineers. You have to have state and national environmental impact studies done before you can even look at expanding anything in fuel refinery. In other words, millions and billions of dollars and months, if not years of time. Why, if you've done all this work, would you submit that to the government just to have Biden say no? That's the world we live in, folks. Biden did this. He's causing this. He thinks he's benefiting by this. And it's destroying our country. I am very glad to be in the South, because down here, I think we stand the best chance of maintaining American freedom, liberty, and prosperity. Ultimately, we have the best chance at it. I think we're going to have a separation. In fact, the way I see this is at some point, the states, The governors have to look at their people and their economy and say, what our people need is emergency relief. And so we are going to forego asking the federal government for permission to take care of the people. And I'm pointing right at Governor Abbott in Texas. You, sir, can declare an energy emergency and start drilling oil and solve this energy problem right here at home and tell the federal government to stuff it in their ass. It's an emergency, just like, well, every other emergency the government has. They seem to say that gives them the excuse to violate our rights. Well, I think that if an emergency exists, the governor has a right to tell the federal government, your authority ceases to exist while we have this emergency. Texas is an independent and free republic, and it can choose to not associate with the federal government if it chooses. I don't know why not. It's an emergency. And if I've ever seen an emergency, folks, it would be now with gas prices heading to $10. Don't worry, folks. The wacko left, they'll get violent. More violent. It's coming. And Biden did this. He did it all. This fall, we have an election. It's going to be a referendum on American values, American way of life, American way of thinking. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be a referendum vote on what we want for our country. There's some states that have cancer that should not be Democrat states, like Georgia. They need to get cleaned out. The time is coming, folks. Be prepared. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. Get your plan together. Help others find the way. Send them that internet address up there. And join us on subscribestar.com every afternoon, Monday through Friday, holidays accepted. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for live Q&A about the day's events and how you can be prepared. Because chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you are a prepper? Godspeed, God bless America, and Semper Fi.